Hi, I welcome you all to the 5 a.m. club where we get up early and begin with our day. Today is one of the most special videos where I'll be telling why become a company secretary and why I chose this profession. First, if I had to gift you any one car, which one would you want? Would you want the one in the left or you would want the one in the right? Obviously, you will choose the one on the right hand side. That's the Rolls Royce. Now, why would you choose it? Obviously, because it is much superior, it has a much better build quality, and obviously, it has a brand value. Similarly, just like in cars, you have statuses and you have brands. In people, also there are brands where we know that this person is much more, he has a very good brand value, where on his name you can get crores and lakhs of rupees. Now, similarly, this is the difference between an ordinary person and a professional. When I talk about a professional, I'm talking of a company secretary here. When you have the tag of a CS, you are treated different. Your demand in the market is different. Your personal build quality with respect to your mind, with respect to your knowledge, with respect to your personality is way different. Now, as we saw in the Rolls Royce, everything is so upmarket. Everything is so precisely perfect. The same thing is when you become a professional, you definitely you have a thumbs up and very superior in terms of knowledge, in terms of efforts, and in terms of thinking. Now, when I was doing law, I said that I wanted to be the best lawyer that possibly is, and not only I just thought that whatever I do, I'll be number one. Now that was my mindset. I said that in the law field, what is the topmost degree? The number one degree, I'll go ahead and do it. So that time I found out that this is company secretary course where you become a corporate legal head. That's what, and the passing percentage was pretty low. So I thought if it's the number one degree, I'll go for it. So CS is definitely recommended also for every single law student who wants to excel and reach the corporate ladder. So company secretary is actually a corporate lawyer who handles the entire company and the legal head of companies, legal and compliance head of companies. So that was one thing. Second, I was always inclined towards business. I always thought that business, having people, you have a team, you have systems, you have everything in place, and how it is autopiloted, where the business functions on itself. The entrepreneur who set it can really relax, chill, and see his business work on its own, and his role is pretty different. Now, so that's why I liked business and I wanted to do the top law course that was available, and that was the CS course. Now, if you Google up the top 10 richest people of the world, that time you see that they are all business owners. And I said, I want to be there. So I started reading about them. I started, following them on YouTube channels, on various things, just to understand how do they think. And all of them have one thing in common: they get up early and start their day. And so I thought, even I'm going to do that. Now, when these businesses are there, and if you read law, like your regulation number 6 of the SEBI LODR 2015, it states that every single listed company has to appoint a company secretary as their governing officer, as their legal officer, as their compliance officer. So when you become a company secretary, you get to meet these kind of owners of listed companies. You start understanding on a one-to-one basis. So these companies, when you start a business, you know that there is so much risk, there is so much of competition, there is so much things to do. And the bigger you are, those kind of problems are pretty different. So very closely you will be able to understand how these businesses function. You will be able to understand the clash of the business tycoons, because now being a company secretary, I realize that there is so much what top businesses do to remain on the top, and those who are growing, how do they strategize differently to replace the person who's there on the top and come there. So the strategic thinking is built. And even when you do CS, you will read and learn about the various corporate battles. So if you see the many corporate battles, when they all are fighting to be the number one, you understand how do you attack and how do you defend in corporate field. Now if I talk about this, if you just read up how Grasim was taking over L&T, and how did L&T really, and even Grasim and Dhirubhai Ambani were attacking or maybe trying to take over L&T, and how L&T's DM Naik defended this entire takeover transaction. Even currently, if you read, it is there in the news also, there is a corporate battle between the Adani group as well as the NDTV Pranay Roy. Now it's all will be in the news, and slowly we will come to know what was the final outcome, where Adani wants to take over NDTV and the promoters of NDTV are not really happy and they're calling it as a hostile takeover. So you can read in live exactly what's happening from both ends, what Adani is doing and what NDTV's promoters are doing. Both sides, companies, legal advisors, what are they advising? So once you start seeing, you'll start seeing a really different thing which you don't see it in normal life. Next, any person who wants to set up businesses or wants to set up a world-class business and entrepreneurship company, they should definitely go ahead here for the CS course, where this is nothing but a nursery in entrepreneurship. You learn all the laws in and out. You learn your taxes. You learn business strategies. You learn personality development. How do you cater to the world? What kind of demeanor, personality you have to really reach at the top and to connect with the top. Certain skills you need to develop, where you have to learn to develop with foreigners in case there are foreign investors, there are foreign shareholders. How do you connect with them worldwide? Now, when I'm talking of listed companies, obviously they are not just listed in India. Most of them are MNCs, multinational corporations, which can be listed in Australia, Singapore, the Middle East, in Europe, all of this. So you have to have a global exposure and a global knowledge, somewhere where you can interact globally with all these people and agencies. Now again, as we have our firm, we've also catered to a lot of foreign clients, where we understand that how they are investing. So they have made a foreign direct investments. Then there are certain filings with RBI. So I've done those filings as well. So this entire money is coming in tranches, 27 crores, 100 crore deals, all of that they come. So we learn the compliance aspect, because today if your laws are not complied, really it can amount to business shutdown or business closure, or even temporary closure in some cases. So definitely you learn global skills. You have to understand the foreign laws as well as the Indian laws if you want to have an international practice. Now CS also has an international relevance, where we have centers in Dubai, we have in UK. So just by if you give CS, then internationally you just need to give 2 papers or those balance papers, and even can become a company secretary or a corporate professional in that country as well. So you will have to develop skills to cater to foreign clients as well. And trust me, foreign clients are very high paying because they pay in dollars. So all those skills you will get to learn when you're practicing as a CS. Now, Also, you have to understand that no major step is done without consulting the company secretary, the business strategist. Company secretary is the professional who's sitting in board meetings. When he's sitting in board meetings, when I'm saying board meetings, means directors of companies like in Reliance we have Mukesh Ambani, Tata, there will be Ratan Tata. So the company secretary sits in the board meetings. When these promoters, directors are discussing, he will strategize, he will say what is permissible in law, what is not permissible in law, what is the cost effect, what is the tax effect, all of that. So professionals sit in board meetings closest to the richest peoples of the world. So obviously this is a nursery in entrepreneurship. Now, when I started off, I always said that I wanted to do business, and all my friends always knew that he's going to start a business. He's not interested in the job. Now, if, however, let's see, once you complete CS, okay, you can either go in for a job or you can go in for business, and you can set up your own individual practice, or like me, you can set up your own company. And then because you've run companies, you've catered to so many companies, you know how they work, you're competent to run your own company. This you require confidence, courage, and a vision. Now, initially when I was in college, I always said job doesn't make sense. It is a journey of the broke. And in school, and our parents always teach us that go ahead and get a job, etc., etc. But I never was fond of it, because when you start, you're not paid that much, and your entire youth, you're working at a low pay. Then when you're middle aged, when you're earning a lot, but your time is also invested, because you have to work also a lot. So time and money, both you will time will be less, you won't get your personal time, but you will get more money. And in retirement again, you will stop working, you will stop earning. Now this slowly changed. So journey of the broke is definitely there, and a person will have to think to switch to business or switch to smarter ways. But if you're a CS, okay, now pay attention to what I'm saying. If you're a CS, the job profile is very good. So it is not, this journey of the broke could be when you're a non-professional, But now if you go to see, if you are a professional, the job market is very good, it's very secure, and it is not that time consuming or time invested, because your time is counted in money. So if I'm talking to the client and I speak with him for half an hour or 1 hour, 1 hour billing will be sent to the client. So your time is actually money. So your time is respected in the market. Second, in CS, when you become the compliance head, you don't really feel it like a job, but you feel it like a real professional, where the packages are so high. You get 1 CR packages, you get 70 lakh packages, which at an early stage. So even as a young professional, you can start earning and you can start having time as well. Okay, so this is in job. It's when you excel in the field, you go and see the packages of the top company secretaries in India. It runs into crores, okay, per month. Same way, if you go for business, obviously in business, the opportunity is unlimited. It has a lot of skills to be developed, which I always said I will learn, and I am still learning. But one day, I always know I have a vision to set up a world-class business enterprise, and CS has done a fabulous job to developing my mind in that. Right from how do you start the company, it is taught in your syllabus. How do you set up a company? Then I thought, why shouldn't I set up my own company? Same way I've set up companies for clients. Second, the next step is to obtain funding. Now, when you set up a company now and you have to run it successfully, bring in a business model which succeeds. At least it should be autopiloted to some extent, where you set up a investable model and then start getting funding. Now when funding is got, there are certain investment papers, certain investor documents that you need to make. Again, it is taught in CS, shareholders agreement, share purchase agreements. After that, when you set up a company, got funding, then you prefer to get listed. Like we have Paytm, they were initially working as an unlisted company where they had got investments, and then they prefer to go and list themselves. So that's the next process. CS also assist in, or instead of assisting, I could say head the transaction where a listing process is done. So listing on the stock markets, on NSE, BSE. So if there is a client, he's come saying that I have a public company, I want to get listed on the stock markets and bring in an IPO. What is the process? The company secretary guides them. So obviously the next step will be to get funded and then to get listed. And obviously after that, you know, the day you get listed, your value will become in billions. Next, once you do that, being on the top, getting on the top is one aspect, and staying on the top is another. Then comes aspects such as mergers and amalgamation, mergers, takeovers. So if I'm at the top, like Reliance, my job is to take over all those chodu companies or those smaller companies which are going to be threat to me by just paying them off and buying. You check the acquisitions Google has done so that there is never a second search engine. You check, they have bought over everything. Same way, you see that any business which you feel is flourishing, you can pay the owners and buy it. Just like Facebook bought over WhatsApp. So this is acquisitions. Now, in mergers and acquisitions and takeovers, you will see a corporate battle, especially when the companies are not agreeing. For example, I give you the example now, Adani, NDTV is being taken over by the Adani group, and NDTV is not happy. So you have to see from which side company secretary are you, because both of them are companies, both of them have their own legal professionals and legal teams and company secretary. Now both sides you have to see. If I am from the target company, what will be my strategy? So when L&T was being taken over by Dhirubhai Ambani and Grasim, that time, so they were thinking, let's take over this company and buy it off. Okay, they were thinking in this way, let's buy it off. Why not? We have the money, we'll buy the shares and we'll get the controlling stake. So we are the company secretaries for the acquirer, so we will act that way. But what if we are company secretaries for the target company? We are NDTV, we are let's say L&T. That time you have to apply certain defenses for takeover. How you can prevent these takeovers and try to save your company. And if you read about AM Naik, the CEO that time for L&T, who was successfully able to stop and block those takeover deals. You'll understand these corporate battles are real business strategies. Also, you learn about business turnaround strategies. Now, what is business turnaround strategies? Suppose when a company has gone into loss and is falling, then we call in certain turnaround strategies to come in and reverse the situation and make it back into a profitable company. So that time we can bring in company secretaries. They come in as insolvency resolution professional, where they try to resolve professionals. Now again, business turnaround strategies are done by company secretaries as well as a insolvency resolution professional. So it's a beautiful course talking everything about business. Now every company's goal would be to be on the sector top. If you're in business, your mind is working, how do I be number one? For that, you might have to deploy a lot of strategies. Maybe strategy 1 might not work. You try strategy 2, you try strategy 3, or strategy 1 gets you closer, then use your strategy 2. Whatever it is, but the goal of being number 1 should and has to be achieved. So this is a field where you're always thinking how to successfully be on the top and remain on the top. So you understand what the best are doing, you understand the best corporate practices, how they use technology, your use of data science. All these companies, how do they use data? They call data is the new oil. So how do they connect these data to launch new products, to decide which products should be stopped, to decide into newer markets, global markets, etc. Your job as a CS and as a business owner should understand the consumer psyche. When I say consumer psyche means what? Who are your clients? What do they do? What do they think? What do they want? And accordingly, I would cater to their needs. So CS is a beautiful course covering everything about business, everything about making a successful person. So definitely the brand of CS is very valued in the corporate world. Now the exam. Now I understand the exams many students don't clear in the one go. It's very difficult, etc. Now when I was a student, I said that CS is a competitive exam with low passing percentage, and that's exactly why I love the course. Anything wherever the passing percentage is very high, it's not going to be valued. So the lower the passing percentage made me more happy, because I always told myself I'll be number one. Even if the passing percentage is 1%, I will be among that 1%. So it didn't matter to me if the passing percentage is low, because I knew I'm passing. Same for you. You have to keep your mindset that you don't have to see the pass percentage, or the pass percentage should inspire you to work harder and to be number one and to be perfect in your work. And since the pass percentage is low, this makes this course very, very valuable and gives you a prestigious designation. Wherever you go in the market, they know, oh, you're a CS. Especially those who know. Now, obviously, there might be many people who are not into the corporate field, might not know the value of this degree, since they are not exposed to this kind of field. Now, CS is an opportunity to transform your life. Now, when you're starting CS, you have to keep in mind that you can definitely clear these exams and become a successful professional. When you become a successful company secretary, obviously sky is the limit. You have everything in place. Your funds, you'll just have to see of how do I multiply and invest these money. Now the thing is, CS is an opportunity to transform your life and your family life. So go and grab this opportunity. You need to think that you need to do something in your life where you can help your family, your parents, you can make them proud, and definitely tell them that mom, dad, you all can retire, now I can take it forward. And that day when you tell them that I will take over and handle the entire house expenses, your expenses, I will handle it myself, you will feel and they will feel very happy. And for that, this is the opportunity where you can do that. So go ahead and grab this opportunity. And let me tell you, whenever you've planned to do CS or you are doing CS, I'm telling you to keep fighting till you clear and get this prestigious tag. It's not going to come easy, but I can promise you it will be worth it. That is it. I sign off. And if you're a CS student or a CS aspirant, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and in the description you will find our social media groups, Telegram groups also, where you can stay connected. Thank you so much. I sign off for today. Have a great day.